homemade blue cheese dressing to dip for the wings as well as for the salad, and to make a buffalo wing sauce as well. But I just thought I would share a little bit about me. My name is Lisa. I have an absolute passion for cooking and baking. It's just, to me, such a rewarding feeling to create something and for people to enjoy. Kind of an expression of love, I guess. For those of you who may or may not know me, for about 7 years, my husband Phil and I ran a business called For the Love of Toffee, in which we produced ourselves, handmade small batch toffee in 8 flavors, and built this business. Started in about 2018, and actually we just kind of closed it down in August of 25. Really due to the fact that it was such a success. We had so much fun with it. We just met so many people, learned so many things, built this incredible community of friends and family who are all equally excited about this opportunity, and then decided that maybe it was time for us to slow things down in our lives a little bit. I have a full-time, that's the oven going off. I have a full-time career, which I absolutely love, in training and development. And my husband is a retired fire captain. So we have success in our life and we feel very fulfilled, and the business was doing that as well, and we love doing it together. But it was kind of burning both handles at both ends, and started to become a lot. So very bittersweet decision to make, to have to walk away, but we did, and I'm now finally coming to peace with it. Hold on one second. Okay, I just checked on the wings. They're nowhere near ready to be turned, so we're gonna hold off on that. Just washing my lettuce, getting it nice and rinsed, and then I'll dry it out. One thing I don't care for is soggy lettuce. I like when it's nice and dry. So I'm going to do my best to, I don't have a salad spinner either. I used to have one. I think it broke or something, and I never replaced it. I love salad spinners, but the old-fashioned way works just as well, too. So I run it under cold water in a colander. One thing about lettuce, too, believe it or not, little kind of fun fact, is if you saw I was breaking it with my hands, sometimes we want to cut into it, which I get. You can cut the lettuce with a knife. But my mom taught me when I was growing up that can cause some bruising in the lettuce if you do that. And so I've always just followed her advice with that. And whether or not it really would bruise the lettuce, I don't know. But breaking it up works nicely. You can control then the pieces and the sizes that you want. And I like my lettuce in pieces more than in big leaves. This lettuce wasn't very sandy, so I think we should be good. Okay, and then what I do here is I kind of just wrap it in some paper towels. First I kind of like when you wash your hair, you dry it a little bit. Then I'm going to let it dry in paper towels. I use a lot of paper towels. I love paper towels. Only use certain brands though, because I truly believe there's a difference. I got the initial moisture out. I'm gonna kind of lay it out on the counter here. So back to my story. We made the decision in August. We kind of wrapped things up, closed shop. It was kind of abrupt, but things happen as they should, I guess, in life. I learned that in life. You have to roll with the punches and know there has to be a learning from it. But I think there were so many people that gained so much out of it, and I know we had so many incredible customers over the years that we are so grateful for, and just family and friends and everyone in the world that we were in. We call it the small business community. We met the most amazing people and learned so much. So you can't look at anything as, oh, should we have gone further as a failure? No, I think we just want to enjoy our life more, travel more. We have our 2-week cruise booked to Europe, our first time going to Europe and the Mediterranean, and I never would have been able to do that with the business because it's just, you can't take too much time between that and the corporate job that I have. And while I have ample time, PTO time there, I don't, there's only so much you can do. So I have to say that I'm starting to feel at peace. So I thought, what can I do to keep myself, I guess I'm entrepreneurial by nature, and one of the things I love to do is to being in training and development, I love to help develop others and help people realize their potential, help to teach others. I guess we did that with our toffee as well. So many people learned from our business as we did, but we also got to, we called it Share the Toffee Love with our customers. This toffee that was made with love, with care, handmade every day. And we got to connect with our community. So that was one of the most rewarding and fulfilling things. I'll introduce you to my husband at some point. He's actually not home right now, but it's just something that I love. That I thought, maybe this would be a good forum for me to just share what I do and what I love, and maybe help others along the way if they're trying to find kind of opportunities in their life, or just seeking kind of just some tips and pointers on kind of cooking or meals and prep or whatever. Not really sure, but figured I'm here to try this thing out. I'm always admired people that do this and have these pages, and I follow a lot of people who love to cook, and I appreciate and admire that. And I love all the different medium. Like, everyone has a different style and approach, and I think they're all equally valuable. And I love to just see the real people come out and just share who they are and their authentic self. And something about me, I used to, growing up, always shy away from the spotlight. Still don't love it, but when I connect with somebody on a personal level, I feel okay with that. And I feel like when I make true connections, and I did that with my business, I do that in my work that I do now. I get to connect with people, and I feel like this is a forum where we can do the same thing. So I'm kind of coming out of my comfort zone a little bit. Don't like to kind of be on display, but figured, maybe I'm going to learn some more about myself in life as I get to this next stage of life, and hoping this forum can do that. So salad is something that we pretty much have every night with dinner growing up. It's just a staple. And pretty much most of my meals will consist of a protein, a starch, a vegetable, like a green vegetable type of thing, and then salad at every meal. That was for many, many years the case. Now my children are grown, my husband's children are grown, so maybe I don't do that as much, but there's always some sort of vegetable to balance out the protein, and usually some starch element as well. So we're not going to do, with the wings, we're not going to do another vegetable outside of, I have some leftover au gratin potatoes that I made last night. Saturday I made beef Wellington, so we still have leftover potatoes there, which I'm just going to serve since it's a Monday night. Make a salad, make some homemade blue cheese dressing, and make my wing sauce. It'll be good to go. So I have my lettuce here. I think this is escarole, believe, yes. I have 2 tomatoes I'm going to cut up, and I have a little onion. To me, salad's so nice and refreshing. You can do so much with it, and it can round out a meal so nicely. For salad dressing, I mentioned I was going to use blue cheese dressing, but because I'm going to make that for the wing sauce, I think I'm going to just do an Italian dressing here. Pretty much this is all by eye, and these are my staple ingredients for a standard kind of oil and vinegar Italian style dressing. I use oil. I like champagne vinegar because it's a lighter vinegar. Balsamic is fine. I have it. I always keep a lot of vinegars on hand for different things. Sherry vinegar, red wine vinegar, balsamic. But with a regular salad, just kind of my standard. I just feel like it's just a lightness to it, brightness. I use a little salt. I always use kosher salt kind of as my standard. I have black pepper right here, some oregano and garlic powder. So with salad, if you were to make a salad dressing, it's pretty much, the proportion is 3 parts oil to 1 part acid, whether it's vinegar, citrus juice, lemon juice. The other night I did an orange vinaigrette, which I used fresh oranges squeezed as the kind of acidic part. Added a little vinegar as well, but a splash. So I eyeball this, so I can't tell you that 3 to 1, it seems about right to me. I just have a feel for it. I take, a little salt. Then I have a salt grinder too. The Himalayan sea salt here, which I use as well. But when I cook, that's good for at the end when you want to add a little more salt. But when I cook, I just I have a better feel in my hand. So I keep some in a bowl. Some garlic powder here, and some pepper, and some oregano. And that's pretty much my go-to every day. I just turn them, and then I'm putting them back in the oven, and they'll start really crisping up soon. I like to always use fresh garlic when I'm using garlic. I mean, I use garlic powder, of course, but preferred over the jarred garlic. But I understand people will use that and to save time. I prefer fresh garlic whenever possible. So I've got my 1 minced clove of garlic. I'm going to also take 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So see how juicy this lemon is, and then go from there. I can usually get a sense. Like some of the cooking, that's one thing about cooking. If you know the fundamentals, you can eyeball these things. So I'll call that a tablespoon. It's probably more than a tablespoon, but who's counting? These are the kinds of things that nothing's going to go wrong. Now, I love to bake, as you know, and as I mentioned, baking's different. That's a science, because there are some things you can get away with winging, like crisps and things like that, and certain types of desserts, but generally, if you don't get it right, you're going to have some sort of issue. But here we have, so this is probably a little more than 2 tablespoons, but I don't mind a little tang. Okay, throw that out. Then, very simply, we have some milk, a 1/2 cup of milk. Okay, the milk, and then we have a little bit of white vinegar. So calls for 2 tablespoons. So I'm gonna just there you go. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of sugar, tablespoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. A scant teaspoon, and some black pepper. Again, you can measure this out, but I don't see the need for this. I'm going to now add, this is a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise, a 1/2 cup of sour cream, I'm going to mix this all together. Okay. My son had friends over, about in the fall, and he actually came to my house. He lives on his own, but came over with his friends, and they were having a little party for one of his friends that was going into the military. So I said, since I have more room, I said, absolutely, you can have everybody here. Had a handful of his buddies, and I made a whole bunch of food, of course. I was excited to do that. And wings was one of them, and I made this dressing and they loved it. And now I've started to make it quite a bit. Okay, but now it's going to make it thick. It's a little bit loose right now, and that's okay. I'm going to add the blue cheese. So this is, I'd say this is about 10-ounce container, but I'm going to use about half of it. Again, it's not going to matter if it's, so now I'm seeing this here. It's a little loose, and you want it to be a little bit thicker for dipping. Delicious tang to it. Here, let me taste it just to make sure. It's got like a tartness. There's a little slight sweetness, but very light touch. That garlic gives a nice little bite, and the vinegar and the lemon, it's just all, it works. And highly recommend. So this can be used as a salad dressing, which I already made my salad, but I can save this and use it and have it for the rest of the week when I want to make a salad. Because I've been cooking the wings at 375. I've turned them probably for like 40 minutes now, and now towards the end they're almost ready. And what I did was I didn't use any oil. Nice and crispy. You can hear the sizzle. And again, because we didn't really use oil, we used some avocado oil spray. I coated the pan with it. I coated the bottom. I lined the bottom with foil. Air's coming through. It allows it to cook through from top to bottom. The baking powder provides that crunch without the flour. It gives you that crispiness. It's seasoned with garlic powder, salt, and pepper. So what I'm simply going to do, very easy, is to put this. I have my sauce right in here. I'm going to take my wings and I'm going to put them right in the bowl. I'm just going to toss them all. There we go. And there you have homemade chicken wings with homemade blue cheese dressing. Okay, so here we have some wings. This is the au gratin leftover, the salad, and my dressing right there.
Wow.
Well, there's a little honey in them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, honey, and there's brown sugar and your Frank's Red Hot that you love.
Oh, this is tremendous wing. This is excellent. Thank you.
Of course.
Oh, so good.
You eat well, babe.
Oh, my God.
All right, I'll let him get back to it.